I'm so in love with you. Whatever you wanna do is all right by me. Hey everybody, I'm your host. I'm feeling good today, man. El Grande Gato, and this is 95 The Roar. A channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring the roar. Speaking of restoring, according to one Yahoo Sports insider here, Carolina Panthers are doomed. Well, not doomed, but are expected to reset the quarterback position here. How do we feel about that? Again, if you're new to the channel, man, give me some thumbs up. Give me some likes, some shares, subscribers, all the other good stuff. Tune in tonight at 7:30. I will drop the link so we guys can pull up and talk to me. Again, 7:30 tonight, we will go live so we can have a powwow all together. But with that being said, man, let me start the show off by saying, man, I want you guys to emotionally control yourself, right? Today's topic is probably going to upset some of you guys, and I understand. A lot of you guys have an affinity for Bryce Young. I understand. But please, I'm speaking from a objectivist point of view, meaning I'm reporting I'm speaking on what's being reported, okay? And I'm giving my opinion. Before we go to the first roar, let me start off by saying that I want to believe in Bryce Young so bad. I went out here. I know better, right? I'm kind of buying into what you guys are saying. I'm trying to be optimistic about Bryce. I went out here and I got a Tedero McMillan Color Blast card, really sick card, and I ended up buying Bryce Young's rookie card. Yeah, I'm a card collector. That's what I like to do. Even bought a Carolina Panthers national rookie card for Bryce with the color patch. It's about $300, which is pretty low for a guy who's in a rookie year. So I don't know. If it works out, then I believe that $300 can probably quadruple. But I don't know, man. I don't hate the brother, man. But at the end of the day, as a Panther fan, you want what's best for the organization, best for the team. Okay. With that being said, let's get into the first roar. All right, man, today's first roar, before we actually get into that, fantasy football spots are available, y'all. League 1, we got 4 spots. League 2, we got 6 spots. League 3, 6 spots. League 4, 4 spots. League 5, 6 spots. And League 6, we got 5 spots, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get these things filled. Okay, we got about 2.5 weeks till regular season start. I'm giving you guys to September 4th. And those who entered, I will refund your money if we don't fill them, okay? I don't want to pull teeth here. Fun League, all of them are PPR. We are using ESPN. That's the way to pay on the screen. If you have any questions, email me, 1995theroar@gmail.com or panthersnews247@gmail.com. We have a lot of fun doing these fantasy football league, okay? I don't have any baked-in commission, so I'm not trying to con or scam. It's just it is what it is. You pay into it, you win, you get a chance, have fun, okay? So, man, check those out. I've been doing it for the last 4 years, made a lot of good friends and a lot of good times, all right? Now, back to our topic of the day. ESPN Insider believes that the Carolina Panthers will be moving on from Bryce Young. Here's exactly what he had to say. According to Seth Waldron, he said that the Panthers will draft a quarterback in the first round of 2027. This might not even qualify as a really bold take. Carolina has rightfully, in my opinion, not extended Bryce Young beyond his 5th-year option. Wow. So this is an ESPN reporter here. He said Carolina has rightfully, in other words, he's saying that Carolina is just in their decision-making on not extending Bryce Young beyond his 5th-year option. Faced with a strong rookie class next year, the chance for the Panthers to have a fresh start at the quarterback position. Okay? So that's the report that's coming out here. So a lot of you guys are like, why, how, who, when, and where did they come up with this rhetoric here? Shout out to ESPN Shane Waldrick here. Why are we even in this position to where a quarterback on his rookie deal is talking about possibly being replaced? I'm glad you brought that up. Sit back. I got you for the next hour or so. I want to compare Bryce Young to the previous quarterbacks that came out over the last 2 to 3 years. And this is very important, what I'm about to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain something to you. The way quarterbacks are coming out of the college football and they're producing quickly rather than lately matters. This is not the day where you sit a guy, and shout out to, I think the last quarterback that actually sat behind a veteran and made something of himself was Jordan Love. Jordan Love sat behind Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, right? You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Aaron Rodgers, right? Those days are over. You can hire a guy on your roster for 5 years knowing he's your future and he's going to develop. You cannot miss out on this quarterback class that's coming out. You don't want to be the guy knowing that you had a Arch Manning, a Darshan Minshew, a Dante Moore, a CJ Carr, a Julian Sands in your roster class, and you passed on it because you had hope for somebody who inevitably is not a good quarterback. You don't want to be that guy. That's the kind of stuff that gets you fired. That's the kind of stuff that sinks a franchise. You missed out on CJ Stroud. You traded away Caleb Williams. You don't want to be the guy that has to look his fan base or his staffing department or even the coach in the eye and say, hey, I could have had you guys a superior quarterback, but because I'm set in my way, I chose to stick with what I had. Okay? The days of quarterbacks being developed and groomed 5-10 years is over. And I'm going to tell you why here. Let's go back to the other screen. Let's go back to the other screen here. If you look on your screen here, I want to compare Bryce Young to the previous quarterbacks that I mentioned in the past 2 or 3 years. If you look at CJ Stroud, the guy took him behind him. Bryce's rookie year, he threw for 2,800 yards. CJ threw for 4,100 yards and 23 touchdowns. Bryce threw for 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Bryce had 11 fumbles in his rookie year. CJ Stroud had 8. He didn't lose any of them. Bryce lost 6 of them. Total, his rookie year, Bryce had a total of 16 turnovers compared to CJ Stroud. So even though CJ Stroud had 8 fumbles, he never lost any of them. So 16 total turnovers from Bryce Young, 5 compared to CJ Stroud. Now, how does that look? How does year one look under how does year one under Bryce Young look versus year one from the guys behind him? Okay? Let's just take a look at Caleb. Let's take a look at Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels came in and threw for 3,500 yards. Big Nick Bo Nix threw for 3,700 yards. Caleb Williams came in and threw for 3,500 yards. Drake May threw for 2,200 yards. Okay? Compared to Bryce Young's rookie year, he got 2,800 yards, 2,877 versus rookie quarterbacks coming off to college, 35, 37, 35, and 22. And we'll talk about Drake May in just a second. So my point is you got guys with real talent coming out of college showing you that, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to ball. Okay? Versus Bryce Young, who year one struggled. Now, adding context to the thing, yeah, Bryce, was sacked a bunch of times and a bunch of other good stuff, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So you kind of give him a little bit of grace with that. But even in that situation, look, Bryce Young threw 11 touchdowns his rookie year. Okay? Compared to Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels threw for 25 touchdowns his rookie year. Big Nick Bo Nix threw for 29 touchdowns his rookie year. Caleb Williams threw for 20. And Drake May, although he threw for 2,200 yards, he threw for 15 touchdowns his rookie year. Bryce Young, rookie year, he cracked 11. I mean, you got guys coming straight out of college lapping you, doubling you. A year in the game, they doubling your numbers. This is why it's important, okay? It's not about the Bryce Young hatred. It's about quarterback evaluation and understanding the development of a quarterback. Even though Drake May threw for less yards than Bryce Young, he still threw for more touchdowns. And on top of that, Drake May had a completion percentage of 66.6 coming out of his rookie year. His rookie year, Drake May had a completion percentage of 66.6. If you wonder what Bryce Young's rookie year was, it was 59. So Drake May was damn near eclipsing almost 70% completion percentage his rookie year when Bryce only had 59. The reason why Drake May threw for 2,200 yards his rookie year, well, guess what? He had guys like Kayshon Boutte, and it lives up to his name. Kayshon Boutte, you know what I mean, was his leading receiver, followed by Hunter Henry and DeMario Douglas. So even with that being said, even with that receiving core, Even with Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, and Demario Douglas, he still had 15 touchdowns. Bryce Young had 11 touchdowns, with just as equally of an ass wide receiver room. Okay? Let's go down here a little bit. Year 3 for Bryce Young. Year 3 for Bryce Young, okay? Now, this is the point where you're really supposed to have your breakout year, and then I guess to some people, he did have a breakout year. Bryce Young threw for 3,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, 23 passing touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. C.J. Stroud threw for 3,041 and 19. By this point in C.J. Stroud's career, he had already made the playoff 3 times, and he also ended up winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay? Bryce Young's 3 year now. Best year ever. 23 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Check this out. The guys coming into the second year, Drake made 4,300 yards and 31 touchdowns. Your best year is Drake May's second year. Bo Nix' second year, 3,900 yards, 25 touchdowns. Both of these gentlemen had already threw for 25 plus touchdowns the year before. Both of these gentlemen had eclipsed over 3,000 yards the year before. Caleb Williams, 3,900 yards and 27 touchdowns. And Jaden Daniels threw for 28 touchdowns and 3,800 yards in year 2. Year 2 for Bryce Young was 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. Where you're peaking at, these guys are ascending. They're still, the scary thing about Drake May, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, this season right here was their second year, dog. They're going into their third year. You're peaking at your year 3. Bryce is peaking at year 3. And you would say, okay, year 3 looks good, so that means year 4 you should be, no. What I'm saying is this. This is the best you're going to get out of him. And it's sad because the best that you're getting out of Bryce is second year's guys average. Look at this shit, y'all. Drake May and Bo Nix, 31-25 touchdown. Drake May doubled his touchdown from his year number 2. Okay, so I like the Drake May conversation, right? Let's stick with Drake May. Okay, you guys say that Bryce Young didn't have no weapons around him. Bryce Young played with booty receivers. All right, so year 1, you know what I mean? He had 11 touchdowns. All right, year 2, he only improved by 4 more touchdowns. And he only improved by, he went down actually by 400 more yards. Drake May, year 1 of Drake May. Drake May threw for 15 touchdowns and 2,200 yards, right? So his rookie year and Bryce's rookie year, they both struggled when it comes to passing yards, but Drake did solid touchdown. Look at year number 2 for Drake May. Drake May doubled his passing output and doubled his touchdown output. Look at year 2 for Bryce. Went down 200 yards for passing and only went up 4 passing touchdowns. My point that I'm trying to make to you guys is you got to understand the volatility of Bryce. I mean, the ceiling is, I shout out to Brad Tillis. He mentioned, earlier in this month about how Bryce ceiling is unlimited. No, sir. This is the best you're going to get. It's the best you're going to get, man. And you got guys coming out of college football and putting up numbers. You Drake May, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels prior to he getting hurt. Them guys were averaging 20-plus touchdowns a year. Okay? Year 2 is right there, man. I mean, it's insane. It's insane, man. It's not even fear what these guys are doing coming out of college. You know what I mean? And if you look at Bryce Young through 3 seasons, he has 49 total passing touchdowns in 3 seasons. Now, mind you, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and that's it. So look, in 3 seasons, Bryce Young has 49 touchdowns. Bo Nix has that in 2. He has 54 in 2. Caleb Williams has 47 in 2. Jaden Daniels has 53. Now, mind you, Jaden Daniels was hurt. Jaden Daniels has a total of 53 passing touchdowns in 2 seasons. And Bryce has a lonely 49 in 3. So, look, man, if you're wondering, so before we even go further, because we're going to talk a little bit today, before we go further into this conversation, keep in mind why this conversation is being brought up. Okay? I ask that you control yourself. Don't come in here talking about I hate Bryce and I'm pushing hate narratives. Okay, because now this news is starting to leak out from big reporters like Yahoo Sports and other credible sources saying that Bryce ain't it. I'm a numbers guy, okay? If you want to convince me of anything, show me numbers and patterns and I'll believe it. I'm heavy on numbers and patterns. They don't lie, okay? Where Bryce is showing his best numbers, they're average numbers to guys who are coming into year number 2, okay? And it's pathetic. All right? Any questions here? Before we go any further, I got a little more talking to do. I don't want anybody crying. If you can't control your emotions, please leave. Bryce ain't it in Carolina. All right, moving on. Let's talk about who could be it. If you look on your screen here, oh, that's my guy. Oh, I just love that name. Oh, how I love the name saying. Woo! Oh, how I love the name saying. It is the sweet. I love me some Julian Saying. Coming out next year's draft, Julian Saying, future Carolina Panther. You got Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Drew Messmaker, C.J. Carr, Gambling Addict, Sam Levitt, Darren Michie, and a bunch of other players coming out of this year's draft. You don't want to miss out. I just showed you why you don't want to miss out. Really, to me, it boils down to really about 3 names. Saying, Carr, Dante Moore, and Arch Manning, which I don't believe we have a chance. I don't think the Manning family will allow for his team to see Carolina, right? If they're smart, they won't allow for them to see Carolina. So, why am I high on Julian Saying? Well, Julian Saying does incredible things, okay? When it comes to his accuracy in passes where he has to get the ball out in under 2.5 seconds, he is 82.5% accurate. Listen to what that says. When he has to get the ball out in under 2.5 seconds, 82.5% accurate. Ooh, girl, don't fuck me like that. Don't play with me like that, girl. Okay? He dominates the middle of the field. All right? His elite spatial anticipation. So that means his receiver getting open. He throw guy open. Oh, I loved it. My nigga Julian Saying throw guy open. He has elite spatial anticipation. Could you imagine Ted McMillan being led? You know what I mean? I ain't talking about just keep going off a jump ball. I'm talking about actually being led in stride. He does that well. He does that extremely well. Great ball placement, great anticipation. And I mean, what is there not to like about him? Well, I tell you what. When he gets pressured up the middle, man, that's when you see his mechanics break down. You see velocity, underthrown balls. And Miami exploited that. If you go back and look at the Miami bowl game there, in the bowl game, he got pressured, and you've seen the worst out of Julian Saying, man. You know what I mean? So pretty much, I mean, if you give him protection, this guy's gonna do the rest. He's 6'1", he's 215. He actually looks bigger from what I seen off the Instagram, man. My man, they just did like Ohio State put out a little clip where he was working out. He looks bigger, okay? But when that interior pocket, when you get pressure up the middle, sometimes his mechanics go bad, man. And he tends to break down. He doesn't get as much zip on the ball. And, literally, man, things fall apart. If you don't believe me, check out the Miami game. Next up, C.J. Carr. This is a lot of guys you've been saying, I'm not high on Notre Dame quarterback. Shout out to Brady Quinn, okay? But one thing you would like about C.J. Carr is a guy who is a fundamentalist god, right? If you love Tom Brady, and I ain't saying he's Tom Brady. When I say he's a fundamentalist god, I mean this guy is structured by the book. Timing, rhythm, everything. If timing and rhythm is in place, he's going to make you look a real smart head coach. He doesn't take sacks with everything. He's definitely a quarterback that is a systematic, fundamental quarterback. If you are where you need to be, if the play is protected, he doesn't take sack, and you're going to get the ball. Even in the face of difficulty right here. All right, so completion percentage over-evaluated. 6.7. If you don't know what CPOE is, that's pretty much meaning that when you're supposed to make a play in under pressure, a difficult tight window throw, anything of that nature, if you got a plus in that, that means you're a pretty good quarterback. That means you're good under pressure, you're good under duress, you're good under tight windows. That's who you are. He has a very good, smart mental processor. He's big. I think he's 6'3". He's good at the pre-snap read. And literally, bro, like I said, he's a fundamentalist. If you got receivers that know what they're doing, they're running their routes, and you got guys to protect him, I know why you guys are high on him. I definitely know why you guys are high on him, man. But, that's what he is, man. You know what I mean? He has a knack for tight window throws. High difficulty tight window throw, right? So long as you protect him. Now, the problem is with him is when you become a creature of structure, it's hard for you to adapt when it comes to in a chaotic situation. So when plays break down or that rhythm that I talked about is no longer there, then CJ Carr goes to shit. He's one of those guys where, you don't want him in Carolina if you can't protect him. He's not an improviser. He's not an improviser. If you're bringing him to Carolina to do some miracle on Mint Street shit, it's not going to work out for him. Okay? He's one of those guys where timing and rhythm and order matters to him, right? That's how he plays. He plays with that. And so if you're looking for a guy to make off-platform throws and when plays break down and improvise, he's not your guy. He's not your guy. Matter of fact, he'll regress. When plays break down, he's under pressure, that relying on rhythm and timing, he tends to focus on his number one target. And that's what gets CJ Carr in trouble. So if you protect him, he'll look like Tom Brady in the pocket. You rush him, you force him, you make him to make off-platform throws, he'll look like your average Joe, okay? But he definitely has the talent, definitely very smart. Dante Moore, he kind of scares me. I know a lot of you guys are high on Dante Moore. Dante Moore came over from UCLA, and he struggled coming out of UCLA, but he found his knack in Oregon. I believe he threw 30 touchdowns here, man. That offense, man, shout out to Dan Lanning, man. That offense up there is built for people with his kind of predicate, you know what I mean? Over 71.8 completion percentage, very quick trigger, horizontal screens and concepts of that nature. He excels at that, right? Side-to-side passes, stuff like that. Great velocity on the ball. The only problem with Dante Moore is this: you can really fool him with disguises, right? The thing that we praise CJ Carr about, and the thing that I like about Julian saying, is that those guys, you know what I mean? If you're going to get to them, you're going to get to them because you brought pressure to them, right? With Dante Moore, you can mentally mess him up, right? Shifting from a cover 2 to a cover 4, or cover 1 from a cover 3, one high safety to a cover 3, a roll coverage of that nature, dog. You're going to get yourself in trouble with Dante Moore. So a lot of you guys, I know you like him in Oregon, yada, yada, yada. But, he almost like Cam Ward to me. He scares me. He scares the living Jesus out of me, dog. Because Cam Ward in college was a master, man. But, ever since going to Tennessee, man, you can fool him, man. You can fool him pre-snap. You know what I mean? And if you do that, man, now you're asking, and I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm not saying he's dumb. Go back and watch him at UCLA. These are some of the similar things that he struggled with there. And I don't like him in Carolina for that very reason, right? I want a guy who come in with the physical gift that can make plays, but as well as have the mental acumen to be able to diagnose plays. CJ Carr is very good at diagnosing plays. So if I had to say from a mental standpoint between CJ Carr, Dante Moore, Arch Manning, and Julian Sayin, give me Julian Sayin's athleticism and talent and arm strength, but give me CJ Carr's brain. CJ Carr's very smart, you know what I mean? But he's just not that good under pressure, man. You know what I mean? When you get to him. But Dante Moore, same there, man. And if you ask me, is Dante Moore more like who he was we seen last year under Dan Lanning's system out there in Oregon? Or is he more like the guy from UCLA? If you put him in the National Football League, I think he's more like the UCLA kid. What you've seen Cam Ward go through his rookie year, you put Dante Moore on his team, he'll go through the same. Because football is just as much of a game of mental as it is physical. And because of that, man, I'm staying way away from Dante Moore. Maybe he can go to a team where they got, maybe a little bit more protection. And, even with protection, you know what I mean? It's just, if you're a good defensive coordinator, you can get to this kid's head, okay? And last but not least, another name that I'm hearing that people are trying to associate with Carolina is Arch Manning. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Go Dogs, sick 'em. Woo, 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 woo. And let me tell you something, dog. We're not scared of Arch Manning down here, dog. We in Athens, man. We in the little A-town, right? We in little A-town. We're not scared of Arch Manning. And Arch Manning is, extremely overrated. Very physical quarterback. He's almost like, man, I guess, a step up from Taysom Tatum. Imagine if Taysom Tatum could throw, right? Not Taysom Tatum, but Taysom Hill, excuse me. Imagine if Taysom Hill could throw, right? But, I mean, athletic, he's an athletic freak. He's big. He can make all platform throws. You give him time, man. He can be dangerous with his legs. He can do all of that stuff, man. But he's very inconsistent. His footwork is not the best. His execution ain't the best. You know what I mean? You can get to him and rattle him. You can really put him in a. He's like a one-trick pony, man. He's a one-trick. He's almost like a Tebow. How can I put it? It's almost like a. It's like a Tebow / Taysom Hill almost, right? Tebow was a great college player, man, but I mean, in the NFL, didn't pan out here. And if I had to pick one quarterback that I believe that's going to be a bust in the NFL, it'd probably be Arch Manning. I think the name is bigger than his actual game. The name is actually bigger than his game. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor. Speaking of name and game, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share. But Arch Manning is not a guy who I'm not high on. I'm not high on him, man. And I think you're gonna see a lot of analysts kind of come down off him as well. I mean, if you're running a system where you're predicated on him, doing zone reads and stuff like that, maybe you take a kick on him, right? If you're doing zone reads and quick passes and stuff like that, but that won't be in Carolina, dog. He's not the quarterback for us, okay? But so yeah, those are the quarterbacks that I'm pretty much saying that could fit Carolina. If you had to ask me, I'm going with Julian Sain, and it's not even close. Julian Sain is coming into his junior year, or sophomore year here. He'll be a junior next year. But what Julian Sain has done early in his career, man, right? You had Texas come into your building as a true freshman, and literally the numbers aren't gaudy, but he showed up and he got them boys a win. Okay? He already done played in big games. Illinois, ranked team, knocked those guys off in a tough game. You take your divisional rival, you take your school rival in Michigan, and you mash their face in the dirt, and you add 3 tutties on top of it. Okay? So this guy is geared for the big games. Okay? He's geared for the big games. Okay? All right? So even in the divisional Big Ten championship game, he balled out against Indiana. Despite him being sacked over 5 times, right? He was sacked over 5 times, still balled out to the tune of 258 yards. Sacked 5 times through a pick, and then you're seeing kind of that same recipe following week or the week after where they took on Miami, and Miami got the best of them. He was sacked 5 times again, you know what I mean? And then turn around and threw 2 interceptions. So if you get to this kid and take away that elite processing, you can really make Julian Sain mediocre. But I love his elite processor, man. This guy has elite processor. He has elite talent around him, too, okay? So he has Jeremiah Smith. In case you guys don't know, Chris Henry, rest in peace to great Chris Henry, man. His son is the #1 receiver coming out of high school. So I'm excited to see that. I'm definitely excited to see Sain with Jeremiah Smith and Chris Henry's son as well, man, who is being raised by Adam Pacman Jr., okay? So shout out to him. Dante Moore, last year, if you want to look at his snapshot of what he did, he went to Penn State. Very good game in that Penn State game. They went to overtime. He pulled off the upset there. He was sacked 6 times against Indiana. That's what I'm telling you about when he get under pressure. You can really disguise him. Indiana put the beast on him not only once, but Indiana put the beast on him twice. So it shows you in big games. You know what I mean? He had one big game where he showed up against Penn State, also against Iowa, USC. He throttled those guys. You know what I mean? But when it came down to championship level games such as Indiana, he folded, okay? C.J. Carr, if you want to look at C.J. Carr's snapshot from last year, went to Miami and nearly lost that game, right? Miami, went on to play in the national championship, okay? Turned around, lost a high-scoring shootout against Texas A&M, right? It wasn't because of him. And then he went on to Pittsburgh last year and beat those guys 37-15. And also USC last year, okay? 2 ranked games here. When I look at C.J. Carr's schedule, minus Miami, minus Texas A&M, you know what I mean, which are 2 really, really good games. And even though he lost both of those games, I will give him a pass. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, and it was really a cupcake schedule, okay? So everything I said about C.J. Carr, is it true even when you're playing tough teams, right? Because I look at guys like Julian Sain, and to me, this is what's matter, right? The competition you playing is what matters to me, all right? Julian Sain took on Texas. took on ranked Illinois, took on Penn State, you took on Michigan, right? And you beat those guys, right? Okay? You went toe-to-toe with Indiana, the national champions. You lost by 3 against the national champs, right? Okay? And I look at Dante Moore. He went on, took on a number 3 Penn State, right? Beat those guys, okay? USC beat those guys, right? Texas Tech found himself being a Cinderella darling, beat those guys, right? USC. And then I look at C.J. Carr. C.J. Carr lost back-to-back ranked games against real powerhouse schools such as Miami, Texas A&M. Did manage to beat Pittsburgh and USC, but the rest of their schedule was cupcakes. So I do factor in things of that nature, right? Like, are you really as good as being shown? But because when games that mattered, it seemed like he struggled a little bit, right? You know what I mean? He threw for 200 on an average, about 221 yards in one game against Miami, 293 yards against Texas A&M. But I'm looking for a quarterback that can lead us in big games, right? I don't need nobody to come in here and beat the Falcons 3 times in a row, okay? So when I look at C.J. Carr's record, I'm looking like, are you a quarterback that's going to have to play the Falcons 18 weeks in a row? Because we already got that on the roster. I don't want a guy that come here that's going to play Atlanta Falcons 18 weeks and beat them. Shout out to Bryce Young, okay? So that's what scares me about C.J. Carr, although he's a really smart gentleman, okay? With that being said, I got one more option for you guys too. You guys, you know who I'm going to talk about, right? All hail the king. Who? All hail the king, Haynes King. Y'all thought I was going to end the live stream without mentioning my king? Listen, man, there's one more alternative solution to this quarterback room, and he may already be on the roster. Haynes King is phenomenal, and we have yet to see what he looks like when it comes to the starting team. It is so important that the Carolina Panthers, whenever they get ready to make their decision on Bryce Young, you must be able to make sure you got enough snaps for Haynes King. If we're in a situation to where we're losing 8-9 games this year, right, or more than that, I need to see Haynes King on the field. And the reason is not because you want him to go ahead and bring us back from whatever the 8-9 losses will be this year. It's because I need to see whether or not you are somebody I can build around. Okay, so let's say we get off to like an 8-9 losing game streak. If it's over, it's over. Okay, let's not cry over spilled milk. Haynes King need to be out there the following week. Because if Haynes King come out here, we got 8-9 losses straight or whatever, and Haynes King come out here and he rips off 4 or 5 games, I'm going to say, okay, we can build around that. And if the Panthers mess around and get like the number 1 or number 2 pick, and we got Haynes King and he has shown you, even though we're like 5 and whatever, then I'm really seriously looking at Jeremiah Smith. I'm looking at putting some real firepower around Haynes King. In case you guys don't know, Haynes King made all first team SEC. He also was Offensive Player of the Year in Georgia Tech, and none of his receivers got drafted. How do you make Offensive Player of the Year in a Power 5 school and none of your offensive players get drafted? That means you had to have that dog in you. So imagine being a guy, number 1 offensive player in a Power 5 conference with no weapons making the draft. Imagine if you give him weapons. Could you imagine the Carolina Panthers sitting here with the number 1 pick and you take Jeremiah Smith and Ted McMillan? Oh my God. Call the police. You will literally have to call the police on this Carolina Panthers offense. If you say, look, Bryce Young, the one out there lost 8-9 games, put Haynes King out there, Haynes King won us 4 or 5, right? And you put him with Jeremiah Smith, Ted McMillan, and then you have whoever else you want to have, Jalen Croker out there. Oh my God. It'll be Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. This game will be on every TV. You know what I mean? So, like, it's important to really kind of get this quarterback situation figured out rather quickly, okay? If Haynes, I don't know why they're hiding him. I know they said his hamstring was hurt or whatever, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what's going on with Haynes King, but when the time comes, and it will come, it definitely will come, when the time comes for Bryce to go out there and do what he do, and if he doesn't live up to the billing, I want to see Haynes King out there, right? I definitely want to see Haynes King. Jeremiah Smith, I know a lot of you guys, you like Cam Coleman, and I know you guys like Ryan Williams. I'm a Georgia Bulldog, so Ryan Williams has cost us a lot of pain too, man. But he slid down a little bit last year. He's not worthy of a number 1 pick, right? He's not worthy of a top 5 pick. If I'm Carolina, Haynes King is my guy. There's only one receiver I want, and only one receiver that's worthy of it. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you scared. You see Marvin Harris Jr., right? Marvin Harrison Jr. went out there, and if you see what he's doing in training camp, he's dropping passes. I don't know. Listen, don't get me lying. I don't know what the hell's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr. You know, he was the last Ohio State quarterback, that I thought could live up to the billing, right? You got Garrett Wilson, you know what I mean? You got Jackson and Jigba. I could have thought that Marvin Harrison would have kept the tradition going, right? There's two, let me tell you something, in case you guys don't know. The two best schools in college football when it comes to receivers are who? Let me know in the comment section. What are the two best college schools that are known for putting out wide receivers? Let me know in the comment section. I'm waiting on you guys. I'll wait on you guys. There's two teams where you definitely want to get a receiver from. Okay? If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, sub up, hit the like button, share. The two schools are LSU and Ohio State. These are wide receiver pumping out factories. Wide receiver factories. And with Jeremiah Smith, you don't want to miss out on him if Haynes King is your guy. This is only if. This is what I like to call a hypothetical, right? If Haynes King come out here and Haynes King get X amount of reps and Haynes King look like boo-boo, then no harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. I doubt that he does look like boo-boo, but if that be the case, then you stick with your alternative. You go with Julian Sayin. So, Big Cat, what happened if Julian Sayin is gone? Let's say we end up with the number 5 pick, right? If we end up with the number 5 pick, and let's say Julian Sayin goes number 1, Dante Moore is gone, we're literally left with the rest of the field. Let's say Julian Sayin goes 1, Dante Moore goes 2, and the rest of the field, we're sitting there at 5. It's no-brainer. Give me C.J. Carr, right? Give me C.J. Carr. I have so many questions about Carr, like I said, when it comes to his toughness and his competitiveness against quality opponents, right? Like I said, the Texas A&M, the University of Miami, you know what I mean? He wasn't able to get them over the top. You know what I mean? It necessarily wasn't his fault, but as a quarterback, it's always your fault if you don't win the games at some point to a certain extent. But if Dante Moore is gone, Dante Moore is a no-brainer for me. I don't want Dante Moore, okay? So don't even mention it on this channel no more. Don't even mention Dante Moore, okay? If Julian Sayin's gone, Dante Moore's gone, and we're left with everybody else, give me C.J. Carr. Okay? I'll take a fundamentalist guy. I'll take somebody who's very smart, somebody who can decipher the pre-snap read. All you got to do is literally protect him. You protect C.J. Carr, you know what I mean? You get weapons around him. It's going to be a timing thing with C.J. Carr, right? 5-step drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, go. You got to be where you are with this kid, right? 7-step drop, make sure the ball gets handled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release, right? If you're running a 5-yard hitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, ball release. He's that kind of guy. He's a fundamentalist, right? He's a timing and rhythmatic. He's very rhythmatic, right? He's very rhythmatic when it comes to his plan. And I like that. That reminds me so much of Tom Brady's skill set. Very rhythmatic. Not only that, he has the arm talent to do it. That kid is 6'3", y'all. Okay, let me show you the size on this guy. Okay? This guy's 6'2", 225, 215, right? C.J. Carr is a big boy. Big boy, 6'2", 215. Dante Moore, 6'3", 206, okay? Another big quarterback. Big boy, okay? Julian Sayin, he's 6'1", 208 out of Calabasas. He looks 6'1", but that dude looks like he's pretty shredded there, okay? Looks pretty bulked up. I don't know what he's been doing up there, but he looks good. So the days of the micro-midget quarterbacks are gone. Let's get that out of our mind there. Okay, so whoever we get on this next quarterback, if it's Haynes King, listen, I want Julian Sayin. Don't get me wrong. But even if it's Haynes King, my nigga, I'll take him. Don't get it twisted now. Because you hear me saying I'm on Julian Sayin right now. I'm heavy on Julian Sayin, okay? That's my guy. That's my guy's here. Okay? So, with that being said, man, if it's Haynes King and Haynes King show us enough to where we can retain him and build around him, I'm okay with that too. Anybody but Bryce Young, okay? Give me a little second, y'all. We got about 20 minutes left. Got a little bit more preaching to do, and then I'll I'll go to the comment section, okay? If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe for me. Okay, now, with that being said, Bryce Young. Why is it time to move on? I just literally went over each and every one of the numbers on why it's time to move on for Bryce. David Tepper is really going to have to spearhead what I'm saying today. I can talk till my lungs get sore, but if David Tepper doesn't act on this, then it means nothing. But I honestly think David Tepper has come to an impasse. He has come to a fork in the road. And the reason why I believe he has come to a fork in the road is, although his allegiance is to Bryce Young, and it definitely is allegiance to Bryce Young, you have done things to help Bryce Young out. Okay, so stay right there. Let me go back. You have done everything you possibly can to help Bryce Young out. Okay, you guys see my screen? Okay, year one, Bryce went from 2,800 passing yards, 11 touchdowns versus 10 interceptions, and a buku gang of turnovers. Year two, you go out here, you get more weapons for Bryce Young. What does he do? He regresses 400 yards, and he only gets you 4 more passing touchdowns. Now keep in mind that in this situation, every year we're building around Bryce, okay? So look, you're building around Bryce now. You're building around Bryce, okay? Year number 3, Bryce Young. You go out here, you get a $100 million offensive line. You go out here, you had Rico Dotto and stuff. You're getting minimal to marginal return with Bryce Young. You're getting minimal to marginal return with Bryce Young. And it's so sad because David Tepper, you're a hedge fund owner, brother. You know data and trends better than anybody. You know more than I do. I ain't got $1 billion. I ain't got $1, nigga. You know what I mean? But you know trends and data better than I do. And with us investing and pouring into a $100 million offensive line, we went out here and got a running back that literally rushed for damn near 200 yards a game. You literally went out here, you got Ted McMillan, probably the best receiver in his class and probably going to be a Hall of Famer one day, and you're getting pennies on the dollar. Imagine if I gave a nigga $100 million offensive line. I went out here and gave him a 200 yards rushing, and I went out here and gave him a hellacious defense with Derrick Brown and some other pieces. And the best I got from a 2,800 rookie year is 3 years later, 3,000 yards. Literally a 200-yard difference. That's called marginal return. I pour a $100 million offensive line. I get you weapons. I get you a running back. I enhance the defense. And the best you give me is 2,800 yards and 11 touchdowns to improve to 3,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. Meanwhile, year number 2 rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, 25-35, Bo Nix, 37-29, Caleb Williams, 20-6, Drake May, 15-10. You see the difference in that investment? Year 1, Jaden Daniels, 35-25. Year 1, Bo Nix, 37-29. Caleb Williams, 35-20. Drake May, 22-15. Year number 2 for Drake May, 43-31. Year number 2 for Bo Nix, 39-25. Year number 2 for Caleb Williams, 39-27. Year number 2 for Jaden Daniels, 28-8. Year number 3 for Bryce Young, 3,023. Now, you don't got to like me. I don't care if you like me. But you do have to understand analytics and data and math. That's a bad investment. And the thing about it is every year they invested something. And shout out to Jay Wick. Is Jay Wick you here, homie? Is my homie Jay Wick here? Where's my homie Jay Wick? Shout out to Jay Wick. Jay Wick, you're beautiful. I love you, brother. Jay Wick mentioned something on my live the other day. We literally have tied up resources in this team for Bryce Young to get better. And we're getting pennies on a dollar. We're getting literally 200 yards profit margin on Bryce Young. When there's guys blowing their numbers out, doubling their numbers. Drake May went from 2,200 yards to 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns and a Super Bowl appearance. You got guys lapping Bryce Young in year number 2. So it's never personal, brother. Shout out to my homie Jay Wick, man. And we can't even really invest in other departments. So a lot of you guys, like for me personally, I think the D-line is very porous, right? Outside of Derrick Brown, come on. The fact that Derrick Brown is paired with Bobby Brown and Trayshawn Wharton, right? Turk Wharton. We literally got Turk Wharton and Bobby Brown. Both those guys are in the ice tub. And we're pairing that with Bryce. And we're pairing that with Derrick Brown. You know why? Because we ain't got no money. Because we got all our money tied up in helping Bryce. We got all our draft picks tied up in there helping Bryce. We went out here and got Ted McMillan to help Bryce. We got 2 offensive linemen to help Bryce. We ended up signing a 200-yard rushing running back to help Bryce. That's why guys like Nick Scott are still on the team. We ain't got no money to buy no real safety. Bobby Brown and Trayshawn Wharton. We ain't got no money to go get no real defensive lineman. You know what I mean? Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They got Jalen Carter. They got Jordan, Big Jordan up there from Georgia. They got real meat on that defensive line, right? You're handicapping this team, Bryce. You're handicapping this team, David Tepper. You're taking too much for you to be good. Excuse me. You're taking too much for you to be average. I can see if you're going to be average and you had a little bit of supporting cast, right? If you like, look, like for example, let me show you something. Let me put it on my screen. If you're new to the channel, please do me a solid. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I want you to subscribe, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Let me show you guys something. Okay, let me show you. I love this Drake May comparison, okay? Drake May literally, his rookie year went through a similar situation with Bryce Young, okay? If you look on your screen right here, Drake May had 2,200 yards passing and 15 touchdowns. Despite Bryce, year number 1, throwing for 28 touchdowns, he only had 2,800 yards passing. He only had 11 touchdowns. Drake May threw for 2,200 yards and 15 touchdowns, okay? Now, the following year, Drake May ended up going to the Super Bowl. They ended up picking up Stephon Diggs, and that's just about it. Stephon Diggs and a couple other pieces here. You know what he did with one improvement? They picked up Stephon Diggs, and they picked up the left tackle, Will Campbell, okay? They literally just picked up an offensive tackle and one receiver, and this nigga doubled his output. Doubled his output. 31 touchdowns. He threw for 15. He doubled it to 31. He threw for 22. He threw for 43. Okay? With that weapons around him, year number 2, I didn't expect for Drake May to make him pass 3,000 yards. That would have been a hell of an excuse to say, Drake May, we only got you Stephon Diggs, we got you Will Campbell. You shouldn't be throwing for no more than 3,000 yards. When you have average, Drake May has average talent around him. That's the reason why they went out here and got A.J. Brown. Because they said, oh shit. They said, okay, our quarterback has shown us with average guys around him, he can be great. You guys as Panthers fans are so busy trying to make excuses for Bryce Young not having talent around him when you got guys like Drake May taking sorry carcasses like Stephon Diggs and who's the receiver? Boudier, Demario Douglas. This nigga really took Keyshawn Boutte and Demario Douglas and Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, and Stephon Diggs to the Super Bowl. Really? In his second year. You crying about Bryce Young year number 2. You guys are crying about Bryce Young in year number 2. Drake May took nobodies to the... They had no business being there. And shout out to a first-class organization such as the Patriots, because the Patriots said, okay, the Bible says show yourself studying so you can show yourself approved by studying, right? Show yourself approved so you can get more. Ah, yes, Holy Ghost, speak to him. Drake May showed these boys that I can do more with less. And you know how they rewarded him? They rewarded him with a nice receiver such as A.J. Brown. They rewarded him A.J. Brown. He did more with less. But with Bryce Young, man, oh, Bryce. Bryce Young, year number 2. You went out here, you got him some more weapons. 400 yards less than his rookie year and 4 more passing touchdowns. Then year number 3, you pour in $100 million. Or year number 2, they poured in $100 million on the offensive line. Went out here, got a running back that rushed for 200 yards a game. You drafted Ted McMillan. And literally, man, from your rookie year to your third year, you only have 200 yards more to show for it. Why in the hell would I want to pay somebody in a span of 3 years? The most growth I've seen out of them was 200 plus yards passing. and a difference from 11 touchdowns to 23 touchdowns in 3 years. It took you 3 years to throw for 20 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams came in the gate throwing for 20-plus touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, my point to you is this. It's taking too much resources, it's taking too much effort, it's taking too much time to develop Bryce. And you're not getting the volume of return. I literally just walked down to you how Drake May took a nobody group of wide receivers and team to the Super Bowl in year number 2. And he didn't have no $100 million offensive line. He didn't have no $100 million offensive line. It's sad, man. And if you listen to what I said earlier, dog, the league is constantly evolving. The league is constantly growing. So you're either going to find yourself ahead, in the middle, or left behind. And we're finding ourselves as an organization left behind. Because the talent level is so crucial right now that if you miss out this time, you may not see this class again for years to come. You missed out on C.J. Stroud. All he did was become Rookie of the Year and 3-time playoff appearance, including a playoff win. You missed out on Drake May. All he did was take a bomb to a Super Bowl his second year. You traded away Caleb Williams, right? You guys traded away Caleb Williams, and all he did was literally crush numbers and take teams to a playoff. That Bears team was bad. This is the Bears team that had Justin Fields as their quarterback. That Bears team is horrendous. Even with DJ Moore on there. DJ Moore's cool, right? DJ Moore's a stud, by the way. But, you know what I mean, in Chicago, he was mid. And he carried that team to a playoff appearance. We can't wait. There's no more waiting. There's no more waiting. You're either going to get on the pot or you're going to have to get off and get up out of here, dog. You mess around, Tepper. You mess around this go-around, brother, and you pass up on a Julian Sand, a C.J. Carr, somebody of that nature, you don't know when it's coming again. And all it is pride, right? Nobody wants to ever admit that they're wrong. It sucks to say that I was wrong, man. But you know what else sucks? Keep losing it for 5-6 years. For God's sakes, man, I don't want to cherry pick Bryce, but I'll go back. Let me go back to my numbers. For Lord Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? If you're new to the channel, sub up for me real quick. Sub up. For God's sakes here. Look, Bryce Young has yet to have a winning season in 3 years. Bryce Young has yet to have a winning season in 3 years. C.J. Stroud did it. Jaden Daniels did it. Rookie year, Bo Nix did it. Caleb Williams did it. I have yet to see a winning season in 3 years. You got guys behind you coming in here lapping you in every category. Guys are lapping you in passing yards. They're lapping you in touchdowns. They're lapping you in win-loss total. They're lapping you in when it comes to turnover touchdown ratio. It's not like a one-off, right? It would have been different if I had like 4 quarterbacks up here, right? If I had, give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna come to the question section. I'll come to the comment section just 1 second, okay? We got about 5 more minutes, but I'm gonna give you some time. I'm talking a lot today, okay? It'd been one thing if Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Drake May, C.J. Stroud. I said 1 or 2 didn't pan out, right? If 1 or 2 didn't pan out, I can say, well, it was just a bad class, right? You know what I mean? Sir, it's not a gimmick. When people say Bryce bad, sir, ma'am, you got 5 quarterbacks coming from behind you. 4 quarterbacks and 1 behind. 1 that came out the same class as you, and 4 that came from behind you are lapping you. At some point, you got to say, is this just Bryce developing, or is his talent level not on that level? It's not on that level. Bryce was never that guy. Even in Alabama, when he was a Heisman candidate, Heisman winner there, man. I mean, he was a check down master behind a really great defense in Alabama. Alabama under Saban had a good defense. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rock Solid. Said, take your time, Pastor. Hallelujah. I will. I'll take my time. What I'm saying is, look, man, this is not a Bryce hate channel, okay? But this is also a channel that's going to speak the real about Bryce, dog. I'm not willing. I don't know about you. Raise your hand in the chat. Are you willing to sacrifice passing up on this draft class if Bryce doesn't pan out? Raise your hand. And for the love of God, I would love to sit here and tell you that Bryce has something that I see in him that makes me want to continue to develop. The time is up. Time is up. We don't got you a nice offensive line. The running back has been serviceable. Rico Dowdle had 1,100 yards last year. We got you a stud receiver. We got you 2 really good edge rushers. Jalen Phillips, right? Nick Gordon, prayers up for him when he get better. You got Devin Lloyd, you know what I mean? You got 2 really good cornerbacks, J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson. What else do you need? What else do you need? What else do you need? We got you a tight end in Darren Waller now, bro. What do you need? What do you need? Golly, what do you need, bro? What do you need? It's just hard for me to wrap my mind around niggas like Drake May coming out here year number 2, Super Bowl contender. It's hard for me to come out here watching Caleb Williams, 35-20. Bo Nix throwing for 37 and 29. It's like, are we cursed, man? And you guys that are Bryce supporters, you like to cherry pick his stats. You cherry pick his stat, but it's what the context is missing, often lacking. You try to cherry pick his stat. He throws the most deep ball in the league. Sir, he only threw 43 deep balls on 477 pass attempts. You do the math. 43 out of 477 is 9%. 9% of his passes, he had a highest deep ball percentage, but he was only throwing 43. When you had guys like Matthew Stafford throwing for 72. When you had guys like Jared Goff throwing for 69. You had guys throwing for more passing attempts deep, and that's the reason why their production was low. You threw for 43 passes out of 477, that's only 9%, sir. It doesn't mean much. You guys like to cherry pick. Bryce has improved in his number. Well, Bryce improved every number since he's been here. He's improved in every number since he's been here. We have yet to have a winning season under Bryce. We have yet to have a winning season under Bryce. Bryce took us to the playoff. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, they went to the playoff year 1. Bryce's number, he finally threw for 3,300 yards. He threw for 3,023 touchdowns. Okay, that's cool. Jaden Daniels did his rookie year. Bo Nix did it his rookie year. Caleb threw for 20 and 3,000 his rookie year. I can beat you at any angle you want to tell me about Bryce. However you want, I can literally knock your point out. I can literally knock your point down for Bryce Young. Because ultimately, your job as a quarterback is to win games. And he has a losing record since being here. It's only so long you can get away with we haven't built around Bryce. And that'll be a lie. That'll be a lie. It's a slap in Dan Morgan's face to sit here and say we have yet to build around Bryce. You're telling a grown-ass man whose job function relies on him building a team, he hasn't done it? Even Scott Fitterer, shout out to Scott Fitterer. He wasn't the best GM, but don't act like they didn't try to help this brother, right? It's over for Bryce. It's over. It's over, bruh. You don't make the playoff this year, it's over. I didn't say 8 wins. I didn't say 9 wins. I didn't say be competitive. If you don't make the playoff, it's over. If you ask me, it's already over. And Tepper, last but not least, if you're stubborn enough to let your pride pass up on a Julian Sand, if you're stubborn enough to let your pride pass up on a CJ Carr, you will regret it. But I finally like to believe David Tepper, a guy who's a hedge fund owner and a $14 billion man, a guy who strictly looks at analytics and data, a guy who has made his fortune off of analytics and data. I think quietly he's sitting back and he's saying, hey, I think this could be time for me to let him go. The class is too rich coming out next year. This draft class is too rich. And hell, let's say if you want to stick with Haynes King, it's too rich, dog. It's too rich. The talent is too rich in this class. I'd rather take Haynes King and put Jeremiah Smith with Terry McMillan. The last time we had 2 really good receivers here was Muhsin Muhammad and Steve Smith. Let's put Haynes King around Jeremiah Smith and a guy who has a guy who made all ACC Offensive Player of the Year, and none of his offensive weapons got drafted. How about we actually give him some weapons to see what he looks like? How about we go out here and get him a Jeremiah Smith and a Ted McMillan and see what he looks like? I wondered, and listen, now I'm not the smartest guy in the world, okay? I wonder what somebody who won Offensive Player of the Year in a Power 5 conference would do if he actually had weapons. I wonder what that would look like, okay? All right, let's go to the comment section here, man. I'm sorry about being long-winded today. I was very excited and very passionate about today's topic. Let's go to the questions. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, share, hit the like button, please, for me. Hype this video up too, okay? Pass it on, share it along, okay? Share the video, hype up the video, okay? Okay, with that said, let me go to the comment section. Any questions, any comments? Very, very good show today. Make sure you guys come back at 7:30 tonight, y'all. 7:30 tonight, we will be doing a live show. I'm going to drop the link. So if you want to come in and talk to me, you can drop the link, okay? I'll drop the link today at 7:30. 7:30. We will be doing another show at 7:30. So if you want to come up, I will have a Zoom link pinned to my comment section. You come talk to me. All right, let's go to some questions. Jay Wick, salute to you, brother. You missed it, brother. I gave you your flowers early. Thank you, brother. Very smart, man. Shout out to Jay Wick. I'm really tempted to mod. Let me mod you up, man. I like you, nigga. Let me mod you up, Jay Wick. You're a very smart dude, brother. Matter of fact, let me ask you, do you want it? You want the responsibility of a moderator? Just let me know in the comment section. Shout out to the Real Sun Trial. He said, we got Bryce a car seat. Nah, I don't want to do no slander. Shout out to DTP, man. What's up, brother? Bryce didn't take us to the playoff. The playoff, the division took us to the playoff. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 That's what I'm saying, man. We're literally claiming victory, and we're claiming credit for going to the playoff because the Atlanta Falcons took us there. Yeah. And I don't know about you. I'm a man, dog. I like to earn my meal. Yeah. Don't hand me no scraps. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to anybody who celebrated, I guess because a win is a win, but I seen Panther Nation celebrating with Atlanta Falcons fans. Hugging them and saying, ooh, I love you. And then somebody said, yo, Big Cat, are you going to go buy the NFC South t-shirt? Because normally they have t-shirts available for NFC. I said, hell no. Oh, hell no. I don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. And Bryce don't deserve it. Nor does the Panthers. I wasn't finna go buy no NFC South champion t-shirt knowing that we didn't deserve it. So, yeah. Let's get some questions in here, y'all. Very good show today. Hey, Mr. Wesley, how you doing, brother? Jay Wick, man, let me know if you want to mod. I'll mod you up, Jay Wick. Shout out to David Randolph. He said, I like King. I like King too. We can't rule him out, brother. We can't rule out Haynes King yet. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see him in a real game until Bryce, or if Bryce struggles this year. Bryce comes out here, he lays an egg, 8-9 losses. I think they'll finally put him in. It won't be a minute soon or a minute later. Yes, brother. But I would love, man, listen, man, y'all don't know. Haynes King is that dog, man. For my new listeners out there, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share, and join the channel. For my new listeners out there, if you don't know who Haynes King is, he's former Georgia Tech quarterback, right? I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Go Dog Sick, woo, woo, woo. I live in Athens, Georgia, little A-town, right? I'm a Bulldog fan till I die. That's what it is, okay? It is what it is. But Haynes King took us to 8 overtimes. Haynes King last year won Offensive Player of the Year. Okay? Haynes King did not have one of his receivers drafted at all. How you make Offensive Player of the Year with none of your weapons getting drafted? That means you got to be a hell of a talent. Haynes King is in the same category as Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Who else? Somebody else. Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels. There's another quarterback. Lamar Jackson. Jalen Daniels, Johnny Manziel, Lamar Jackson, and I think somebody else. Yeah. In college, since 1956, there's only 5 quarterbacks that have rushed for over 250 yards and threw for over 256 yards and rushed for over 80 touchdowns a game. He's one of them. In college, since 1956, there's only been 5 quarterbacks that have rushed for over 80 yards a game and threw for over 256 yards a game. And he won Offensive Player of the Year with none of his weapons getting drafted. Imagine what he could do with weapons. So a lot of people be telling me, well, y'all just hype off of Hayden King because what he did in the preseason. I'm hype off Hayden King because he has the talent. He has the ability to be special. He has the size. He has the height. He has the athleticism, improvisation. You know what I mean? He's that guy. He just never had no weapons. You know what I mean? So if it's going to be Hayden King, let's see what he got, man. Let Bryce go out there, stink it up, pull him, and then let's see what Hayden King got. To me, if Hayden King can go out here, let's say we lose 8-9 games, we can win 5 games with Hayden King. Shit, man, I'm saying let's build him out of next year. Put Ted around him, and then go get Jeremiah Smith. Shit, let's run it that way, baby. I don't care. Bryce got to go though. And if you don't know why Bryce got to go, rewind this video. I literally just gave you a whole hour on why he must go. Okay. Shout out to Bankroll Reese. Salute, brother. Shout out to Air Ray. Said, Big K, you speaking facts today. I was really excited about this topic today. This was one of my favorite topics to do. You know what I mean? I wanted to do some justice by doing my research. And yeah, man, I really like this quarterback class. I do. I'm high on Julian Sand, right? I'm down on Arch Manning. I'm down on Dante Moore. I like CJ Carr. Even though I say he's a Notre Dame quarterback, under further review, CJ Carr is pretty solid. You know what I mean? Just, to me, his resume has to improve a little bit. I wish they would have played a little tougher resume. I seen him against A&M in Miami, and they lost. Even though those were both competitive games, he lost. So that kind of scares me a little bit about CJ Carr, right? Can he really, compete against big boys? Or win against big boys, not compete, okay? Let's get some more questions in the chat. We will be live at 7:30 in case you guys want to call up and talk to me, okay? 7:30, we will have a drop-in link. 7:30. Let's get some questions in the chat, please. If you're new to the channel, sub up, man. This has been a very good live. Sub up, hit the like button, share for me, okay? Shout out to Mo, Captain Morgan. What's up, brother? Shout out to NC State Hornet. He said, F Georgia, but King is a dog. I'm a Georgia Bulldog hater. Hey, there's a lot of you guys out there. We got the hardware, though, brother. We got the hardware. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been to your college football team ceremony? They championship ceremony? Have you ever rung the bell? See, we got a tradition down here in Georgia. After we win, there's a spot on campus where you ring the bell. You ring the bell. It's a line that wraps around the building. Got to ring the bell now. Matter of fact, I'll post some pictures. I'll post some pictures, not right now, but I'll post some pictures of me ringing the bell, having a good time. Yeah, I'm proud of my Georgia Bulldog. I don't care what nobody says. I love my dogs. Shout out to GG Gray. What's up, man? I think we can go Haynes King and draft Lenore Sailor. No, sir. No. Don't cuss at me like that. Don't cuss at me like that. You said Lenore Sellers. Why do I want Anthony Richardson 2.0? If you want Lenore Sellers, I implore you to type in Virginia Tech versus South Carolina. If you want Lenore Sellers, type in Virginia Tech versus South Carolina. That's all you need to see. I don't want to know. Seriously, I don't want to know. Sir. And you know what's funny, man? I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. I have South Carolina Gamecock fans telling me this year they're going to beat us. The fact that you guys think you're going to beat my Georgia Bulldog, even though we got to come to Columbia, right? You guys are crazy. How could anybody believe y'all going to beat my Bulldog? How could y'all going to beat up with Lenore Sailors? The last running quarterback y'all faced with us was Spencer Rattler. And he gave us a scare now. I ain't going to lie. Spencer Rattler gave us a scare between the hedges. But we came back on that ass after halftime. But don't nobody want no Lenore Sailor. Keep that trash over there. Yeah. Shout out to Jay Wick. Brother, you want this moderator, Rich, brother? Shout out to Jay Wick. He said, for the life of me, Big Cat, I don't understand our franchise. We are cheap franchise. Why don't they just put King in and see what we got? If he's good enough, then we can just get on him pretty deal. Get him on a pretty good deal. Well, sir, the thing is this with that. Bryce Young is on his 3rd year. It's really what's holding this thing up is David Tepper, brother. Right? Because even a blind man can see Bryce ain't footing the bill, right? David Tepper's affinity with Bryce Young. David Tepper loves Bryce Young. David Tepper had a nice little dinner with him during the Super Bowl. You remember that? So, any outside scout outside of the Carolina They can see that Bryce ain't it, but David Tepper, and I respect David Tepper for finally shutting up, right? First couple of years, we couldn't keep his mouth closed, right? But secretly, just because his mouth closed don't mean he still ain't running the show. And he's literally telling them, nah, I want Bryce. I want Bryce. I'm going to get him some weapons. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? But, for the sake of being ostracized and criticized, right? And let's go back to what I told you guys before. This is what I go back to what I told you before. How do you hurt a billionaire? How do you hurt a billionaire? I'm asking a question. It's a rhetorical question, but I'm asking a question. How do you hurt a billionaire? You can't hurt him with money. He got too much of it. You can't hurt him with things. He can buy whatever he wants. The way you hurt a billionaire is you make him feel insecure. You make him feel stupid. Yeah, you ain't got to be rich to feel stupid. David Tepper's a prideful man. David Tepper's a very prideful man. If you don't believe me, David Tepper, he went and bought his old boss's house. The boss that fired him when he was young, he bought his old boss's house and broke it down and built his house on top of it. That is a prideful man in that office. So in order for us to hurt David Tepper, you're going to have to make him look stupid. And the best way to make him look stupid is passing up on somebody like a Julian Sand. Passing up on somebody with a CJ Carr talent. Passing up on a Caleb Williams. Passing up on a CJ Stroud. There's behind the scenes, there's our executives and NFL personnel to this day that make fun of David Tepper when it comes to passing up on Caleb Williams and passing up on CJ Stroud. The only way you're going to get Tepper to stop believing in Bryce Young is you got to hurt his confidence. You got to make him feel insecure. You got to make him feel stupid. Money don't matter to David Tepper. David Tepper takes a dollar bill and wipe his ass with it. He don't care. But he do care about his reputation. If you hurt David Tepper's reputation, he'll come up off of Bryce Young. he'll come the hell up off of Bryce Young. Because one thing a billionaire, especially a white billionaire, they don't want to look stupid. You can't hurt a man who got money. You can't hurt a man who can buy with it, but you can hurt a man who's insecure. You can be a billionaire and be insecure. Hurt his reputation. Oh my God. If you hurt that nigga's reputation. Whew. Hey man, what would I know? Yeah, I mean, and you guys, Panther Nation is so funny, bro. Panther Nation is so funny. Because I hear so many people, not all of you guys, not the ones here today. I hear some of the lovely Panthers fans making fun of Caleb Williams because he got his fingernails painted. Oh, the Caleb Williams got his fingernail painted. Oh, I think Caleb Williams may have an alternative lifestyle. Oh, okay. Say what now? I think Caleb Williams have an alternative lifestyle. Okay. You say what now? Oh, he got his fingernails painted. Oh, watch this. You said you don't like Caleb Williams because he got an alternative lifestyle? 3,500 yards, 20 touchdown. Yeah, but he's still kind of 3,900 yards, 27 touchdown. Let me tell you something. Anybody say Caleb Williams is this and that because you think he's suspect? Let me tell you something. That nigga can suck a hot dog through a straw, and I wouldn't give a damn if he was my quarterback. That nigga can use Fun Dip to paint his lips. I wouldn't give a shit if he was my quarterback. That boy can come out here with a G-string with my face on it if that nigga threw for 3,900 yards and 27 touchdowns, and I wouldn't give a shit. While you making fun of somebody's sexuality or alleged sexuality and their mannerisms, we're sitting here with a nigga who has yet to have a winning season, has yet to throw for over 3,000 plus yards, over 4,000 yards. Fuck out of here, bro. Y'all got some nerve. Y'all some funny motherfuckers, bro. Y'all got the nerve to make fun of Caleb Williams with your motherfucking sorry ass team. You niggas funny. Jay Wick, you want this moderator wrench, brother? I got a moderator wrench for you, nigga. You want it? If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Shout out to G Grave. He said, thoughts on Minshew out of Miami, if not Saylor. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about him, but I can do my research for you, brother. I can do my research for you. I will. Matter of fact, I will do my research for you, and I'll give you my thoughts on that, okay? Yep. Shout out to Miss Douglas. She said, preach, big cat. I'm trying. I'm trying, mama. I'm trying. Yep. Shout out to, any more questions here? Shelly, what's up? Broski, what's up? He said Caleb was tapping Ashton chick before Josh Jacobs. I don't care what. If he's my team, I want Kier. Shout out to Eternal President. What's up? Just think Bryce Young could take the starting job from Mac Jones at Alabama. Look at what Mac Jones is doing now. Yep. Yeah, Mac Jones is a solid quarterback too. He could be a nice bridge quarterback. West Coast Carolina said not the G-string. Hell yeah, nigga. I said G-string. That nigga was my quarterback. Hell yeah. I'll laminate my face on the back of it, dog. If he was my quarterback. I don't care because I want to win, bro. It's not fun being a fan losing all the time. What I look like, Cleveland Brown? Shout out to Darth Jarf. I mean, Caleb is all right. He still may not make it either. He stalls out on third. Man. I know you ain't finna cherry pick Caleb Williams. I know you ain't finna come in here and cherry pick Caleb Williams. Man, it's time for commercial break, man.
Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out the IncredibleFanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today. Panthers fans, don't miss any games. Fubo offers over 300 live channels, including sports, news, and entertainment. Get cloud DVR and top leagues for a free trial. Use my link below.
Y'all guys, make sure y'all hit those links in the description below. Sign up for FuboTV. Again, I know a lot of you guys are using crack streams and all mesh streams, stuff like that. They got a free trial going on right now, man. So look in the comment section and in the description section. Click my Fubo link. Sign up. If you like it, man, mess with it. If not, don't worry about it. You can cancel on the free trial, but give it a shot, okay? And they got over 500 recording hours for DVR. I know a lot of you guys work throughout the year or throughout the weekend or whatever on the Sundays, so that way you can watch the game. Also, Fanatics. If you guys call yourself a fan, you need to have some fan gear, fan merchandise, posters, all kind of stuff. My link is in the description and also in the comment section below. All right? Don't forget to take care of those, all right? I'll give you guys a few more minutes, and then we'll be back at 7:30. Shout out to Jay Wick. He said, give me that damn wrench, homie. I got you, brother. You earned it, man. Let me get it to you. I appreciate your interaction with the channel. I definitely watch it, brother. Let me give you that wrench. Thank you for that super sticker. Yes, sir. Any more questions, any more comments, man? If you're new to the channel, man, sub up to the channel. Like the channel, y'all. I'm a fan. I'm a Panther fan. I want us to win. You know what I mean? I don't wish bad on anybody. You know what I mean? I call it like it is, too. You know what I mean? Even if it hurts, right? So, hopefully, man, Bryce comes out here and you know, show us he's the guy that I know he's not. And, you know, maybe I can have a change of heart, man. You know what I mean? But until further notice, I think Bryce's time is up in Carolina. All right, let's get a couple more questions here. I'll give you about 10 more minutes. We're finna cross over to the 1 hour, 20-minute mark. I'll give you till 1:30, okay? And then we'll be back at 7:30 when I drop the link, okay? Very good show. Shout out to Brer Broski. Caleb passes the cut through win. I like Caleb Williams. I like anybody not named Bryce. Shout out to Achilles. Can you recall that? Can you recap the Yahoo thing? Okay, let me pull it back up here. Yeah, I'll pull it for you. Yes, sir, brother. Thank you for your participation in the chainer. Let me pull it up for you. Let me whip it out for you. Okay. All right. So according to Seth Waldron, okay, ESPN Yahoo Sports analyst here, said the Panthers will draft a quarterback in the first round of 2027. This might not even qualify as a bold take, really. Carolina has rightfully, in my opinion, not extended Bryce Young's contract beyond his fifth-year option. Faced with a strong rookie quarterback class next year, there is a chance that the Panthers think they will have a better future with a fresh start at quarterback. So he said he believed, rightfully so, the Carolina Panthers have yet to extend Bryce Young. You know what I mean? A lot of people just say, well, so I had a gentleman tell me, well, man, they literally just trying to figure out the contract situation. This is totally different from C.J. Stroud, what C.J. Stroud got going on, okay? C.J. Stroud's going to get his money. The reason why C.J. Stroud has yet to sign is because they're trying to figure out the market. What you don't want to do is you want to rush to market with a deal that's going to be way more than the average deal of other quarterbacks. In case you guys don't know, Baker Mayfield is due for a contract this year. Not only is Baker Mayfield due for a contract, Lamar Jackson is due for a contract extension. So what they're doing is they're waiting to see, okay, let me see what Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield get signed first, right? Okay? If Baker and Lamar come out here and they get a nice contract, now what you're going to do is see C.J. Stroud's representative, and they're going to try to find a way to find leverage and say, hey, we deserve more. And the Texans are going to try to find a way to say, oh, you deserve less, or in between, right? So C.J. Stroud will get paid. I don't make that argument the reason why he ain't got his money is because they're in the same situation as Bryce. No. The reason why they're not extending Bryce is because they don't believe in him, and rightfully so. I just gave you guys an hour and a half worth of the reason why they don't believe in him, okay? Even so much so, I'm starting to think Canales is starting to kind of get tired of Bryce. You know what I mean? It's almost like he's going through the motions when it comes to speaking on Bryce. Go back and watch the press conference I talked about a couple of days ago. It seems like he's just kind of going, yeah, okay, yeah, Bryce is... Did you hear what he said about Bryce? He said, the reporter said, how do you feel about Bryce Young, and what is he different from me last year? Oh, he's a year older. What's the difference between Bryce Young from last year to this year? Oh, he's a year older. I said, Jesus. So, yeah. It is what it is, okay? Nothing personal, man. I think everybody's kind of tired of being a puppeteer. I think David Tepper has his hand up everybody's butt, metaphorically speaking. I think he has his hand up Canales and Isaac and everybody, Evero and everybody. It's almost, and I hate to say this, I think the Panthers organization has been around like a dictatorship. You either believe in what I say is right, or you get on. Even Dan Morgan, right? Dan Morgan likes to play this tough guy position, but Dan Morgan want to keep his job too, right? Everybody tough until somebody put a hand up your ass. And that's the reason why Jim Harbaugh said no. That's the reason why Mike Vrabel said no. What did Mike Vrabel do? Oops, Mike Vrabel went to the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. That's right. That's the reason why Mike Vrabel and John Harbaugh said, no, I can't come here. Because they said, if I'm going to run the team, I'm going to run it according to what I believe. Hell, both of them are really good coaches. Yeah. David Tepper need a bunch of coaching staff that he can manipulate. Canales is sweet, okay? And I don't mean that in a salacious or heinous way. David Tepper is sweet. He's sweet. I mean, Canales is... Y'all remember when Frank Wright got fired? They fired Frank Wright in the Tennessee locker room. What does that tell you? The level of unprofessionalism to fire a nigga on the road in another team's locker. That lets me know they were bumping heads. David Tepper came in the locker room and running his mouth. And Frank, shout out to, I like Frank Wright. Y'all hate Frank Wright. I love Frank Wright. Frank Wright wasn't no punk. Frank Wright, look, man, I don't care how much you pay me. I'm a grown man. And I'm a Super Bowl champion. Although it be an offensive coordinator spot, I'm a Super Bowl champion and I'm a grown man. You not going to come here and punk me, David Tepper. Bryce ain't it. David Tepper fired that nigga in another team's locker room. I ain't never seen nothing like it. A nigga got fired in another team's locker room. That's crazy, bro. Think about that. Think about how unprofessional that is. That's like a nigga fire you on your lunch break, man. That's unprofessional, bro. Hey, man, don't even come back for lunch. That's crazy. So that's the reason why John Harbaugh did one come here. Ben Johnson. Y'all know Ben Johnson is a guru. Ben Johnson's from North Carolina. That nigga from out west. That nigga out west. Stay right there. Let me take this phone call. Ben Johnson from Carolina, bro. How does a nigga not want to come home? He didn't. Ben Johnson had, y'all remember Ben Johnson came in for an interview overnight? They said Ben Johnson left the same night. Ben Johnson had an interview in the morning. His plane landed that night. They said by the time his interview showed up, Ben Johnson was back on the plane home. They said, what happened? Y'all remember that? Act like I'm crazy here. Ben Johnson had an interview Friday morning. That nigga landed Thursday night. Friday morning came, that nigga was back in Chicago or back in Detroit. Nobody wants to put up with David Tepper's bullshit. Nobody. For you to be a coach in the Carolinas, you have to submit to David Tepper's understanding and thinking. Now, David Tepper's a hell of a businessman, right? Very good hedge funds trainer. Very good businessman. But he's not a football analyst. He's not a football department guy. You know what I mean? And he's too fucking prideful to say, hey, let me back up and let real niggas who know how to do this stuff do their job. That's the reason why we're in the mess that we in now. David Tepper, big bald-headed ass, is too prideful to say, let me back up and let real niggas who know more than me. That's insecurity, y'all. I told you if you want to hurt a man who makes $1 billion, you hurt his pride. David Tepper's insecure. How you be worth $14 billion, but you walking around this motherfucker insecure? How you be worth if I'm worth $14 billion, I'm secure enough to let a John Harbaugh come in here have your way. But at the end of the day, if you don't produce, you're gone. If I'm worth $14 billion, I'm secure enough to say, hey, Mike Vrabel, you come in here, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you win, okay? Hey, I'm so secure. If Ben Johnson, do what you want to do, as long as you win. If not, I'm firing you. That's called security. It's one thing to walk around that building knowing that you own the building, but you have no control over the team as far as the daily function. I'm okay with that. That's called being secure. Why you always gotta have your hands on something? Secure is saying, hey, I'm a $14 billion hedge fund, but I don't know everything. I may be good at the stock market, but I'm not good at running a team. That's called insecurity to say, hey, that's called security. I know I'm worth $1 billion, but I'm okay with not knowing everything. I'm okay with not knowing how to run a team. I'm also okay with people who do know how to run a team stepping in and doing their job. I'm okay with letting real niggas step in and do their job, man. Insecure ass nigga. Shout out to God of Blackness, man. He said, but Canales had the balls to sit down with Bryce, put Andy in, but Frank has a Super Bowl. Yeah, and Robert Ory has more rings than Michael. Yo, I'm laughing. You got your makeup ready yet? Head ass, laugh out loud, clown-headed ass. Keep pounding, cat. I love God of Blackness. Don't worry about him, man. He said Canales had the balls to sit down with Bryce to put in Andy Dalton. Let me tell you this. That's what you call a dog and pony show. We talked about this before, God of Blackness. Him sitting Bryce down was a call from the top. You talking about Canales had the balls to bench Bryce for Andy Dalton. That wasn't his call, brother. It's funny how you just believe the optics of everything. You believe with your eyes and you don't perceive with your mind. You're going to have to close your eyes and start perceiving with your mind, my nigga. I love you. You're a good brother, but you're very shallow when it comes to the sight of things. Do you think Canales really had the balls to sit down and bench Bryce? Or was he given the order to bench Bryce? Which one you think it was? Because if Canales wanted to bench Bryce, it would have sure came before that. It would have surely came before then. Right? If you said Canales bench Bryce, it would have surely happened before then. I'm asking a question, right? Exactly. That was a call from the top. David Tepper wanted to try to motivate Bryce. Sit him down. Yo, Canales, sit Bryce down for a couple plays. Sit him down for a game so he can learn to appreciate my job. I want you to sit him down for a game. Yeah. And Bryce was, y'all remember that? Y'all remember Bryce was in Carolina crying? Remember he got benched like y'all, come on, man. My Panther Nation. Y'all remember when Bryce got benched, his eyes were watery and shit? He went and cried onto his daddy's dick, cried on the agent's dick, and David Tepper put him back in. Them niggas had a car injury. They had to fake a car accident to get the nigga back in. This nigga Andy Dalton broke a fingernail in a car accident, and them niggas said, okay, he's hurt for the week. Put Bryce back in. And then you got the balls to sit here and tell me that Canales benched him. Nigga, please. If you believe Canales benched Bryce Young, my nigga, you definitely on that ready. You on that ready rock. David Tepper's an insecure-ass man who's afraid of another man stepping in. Like a content creator I know. Niggas afraid to let another nigga do his thing. Insecure. When you're good at what you do, there's nothing that anybody else can do that can make me hate you. There's nothing that nobody else can do to make me feel inferior. I ain't no insecure ass nigga. I don't give a damn if you got 100 million subscribers or if you got motherfucking 25. I'm me, my nigga. I'm secure in who I is. And as an owner, David Tepper ain't secure in who he is. That's why he's scared of coaches coming in here. Canales is a hand puppet, dog. Prior to the Canales coming into the NFL, you know what he was? That nigga was a high school coach. This nigga literally, you would think he would have coached at a big school like Thomas Aquinas or what's them schools out there in California? Mater Dei or up here in Maryland. What's the school in Maryland? St. Thomas in Maryland. You would think, okay, at least if you're going to be a high school coach, let you be a big name high school coach. This nigga teach somebody private school before becoming a wide receivers coach or office quality control in Seattle. And just to show you why David Tepper didn't even want Canales. David Tepper wanted Ben Johnson. But Ben Johnson, John Harbaugh, and Mike Vrabel seen what kind of time David Tepper was on. David Tepper said, I'm going to pick my quarterback. You're going to work with Bryce. You're going to love Bryce. You're going to build around Bryce. And I'm going to get to choose to say who we draft, who we sign. Yeah, and you just got to try to make it work. Ben Johnson said, check, please. Imagine, bro, imagine going back to your hometown. Like, shout out to me, I'm from the DMV, PG repping, DC repping. Shout out to Landover, Maryland, Capitol Heights, District Heights, Hyattsville, Maryland, Largo, Bowie. Shout out to goddamn Maryland, DMV all together, right? Imagine having the opportunity to go back home and coach for your hometown. Ben Johnson had the opportunity to go home. Said, hell no, not under these circumstances. Y'all remember Deuce Staley? Deuce Staley got the hell on up out of here. Yeah. And this little staff you see here, hand puppets. Even Ebro's a hand puppet. Dan Morgan's a hand puppet. All them niggas hand puppets. You do what David Tepper say, or you get the hell on. You be out there coaching out there with Greg Olsen team. Shout out to God of Blackness. He said, by your logic, Frank is a chaotic agent. He's a chaotic agent. Frank could have set him down too. Frank was in sabotage mode. Why even work here if you don't like the business it's ran? That's like a crying racism man at a Ku Klux Klan rally. The reason why Frank couldn't set down Bryce Young was he wasn't in sabotage mode, brother. Frank Wright was lied to. Frank Wright was lied to, my nigga. Frank Wright was lied to. Frank Wright was under the impression that they got C.J. Stroud. Yeah, that's the reason why Frank Wright wasn't happy. Frank Wright was told one thing when he signed the contract, but once he got in here, he gave another thing, dog. Frank didn't want Bryce Young. Yeah, shout out to Kerwin Hightower. Thank you for the subscribe, brother. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like up the channel. But Frank didn't want Bryce Young. Frank wanted CJ. Frank was told that he could have CJ. Yeah. But David Tepper, so insecure, guess what happened? He lied to him, dog. He's a liar, bro. Nigga, if I told you, hey, bro, look, God of Blackness, come here. I ain't letting your ass off the hook, bro. If I told you, bro, you can come into your new job, you're going to have this perk, you're going to have this perk and that perk. You sign the contract and say, okay. And then when you get in there, it's totally different. You ain't going to be mad, my nigga? Hell yeah, Frank was mad. Nigga lied to him, dog. If I told you got a blind, you're gonna make $30 an hour, you're gonna be able to do this, you're gonna be able to do that. You're gonna be, you know what I mean? Come on, dog. Come on, bro. That nigga, hell yeah, he was mad. Stay right there. Shout out to Cool Kev for that super sticker, brother. Thank you. He said, these clowns don't even understand. Canales wasn't picked. He was the only option. Last man looking for the job that nobody wanted to hire, and we hired him. Thank you for that super sticker, Cool Kev. Absolutely, brother. Thank you for, man, no homo. Thank you for having understanding. Nobody wanted Canales. Canales was on the free agent market like Will Smith when they the last episode. Go back and watch the last episode of Fresh Prince. Canales was like, anybody want to hire me? Anybody want to hire me? Ben Johnson was the deal. From what I hear, Ben Johnson, it was a done deal. But see, the damage was done because when we were looking for Ben Johnson, when we were looking for Frank Wright replacement, Frank Wright opened his mouth. A Super Bowl coach doesn't go out of nowhere and stink it up. Yeah. The problem was when you fire Frank Wright in that Tennessee locker room, everybody and their mama said, what kind of circus shit is this? Everybody and their mama in the National Football League, the antennas went up. You fired a Super Bowl winning coach in an opposing team's locker room. And now you're looking for a coach? Frank Wright, Thomas Brown, and everybody started talking. So when Ben Johnson, Carolina native, came in here and they started to see for themselves, they called back and said, yeah, this ain't it. Ben Johnson had a rapport with Deuce Staley. Because he used to be the Lions running back coach. Deuce Staley told Ben Johnson what to expect going into that interview. Ben Johnson saw for his own eyes, got the hell on. John Harbaugh and Mike Vrabel wanted to say, even though this guy's a POS, let me still try to see, can I go out here and get a bag out of him? And guess what happened? David Tepper was willing to give up the power, man. That power is a motherfucker. If you love money, you love women, but power. The love for power is the root of all evil. People kill for power. People lie for power. People have sex and adulterize for power. People would do anything for power. And David Tepper wasn't willing to give it up for power. Even if it costs you wins. Even if it costs you wins. Even if it costs me wins. David Tepper is a greedy man. He's an insecure, greedy man. He's an insecure man. And for him to, if somebody truly cared about their investment, you'll do anything you want to do to win, right? If you care about your investment, I'll put my pride aside. Sometimes you just got to put your pride aside. I don't know everything. Yeah, I got the money. Yeah, I got the power, but I don't know everything. If David Tepper, could you imagine this team with Ben Johnson? If you see what Caleb Williams is doing, could you imagine this team with Ben Johnson? Could you imagine this team with Mike Vrabel? Mike Vrabel went to the Super Bowl with the Patriots last year. You had two quarterbacks. You had two coaches. You had Mike Vrabel and you had Ben Johnson. You missed out on two playoff coaches. And this is why I said this year is going to be different, though. David Tepper got egg on his face. You passed on Caleb. You passed on CJ. You're not going to do it again. You passed on Mike Vrabel, who went to the Super Bowl. You passed on Ben Johnson, who's literally turning Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams will throw for 4,500 yards this year. Bet money. Caleb Williams will throw for 4,500 yards this year. Bet money. Caleb Williams won't throw for 4,500 yards this year, dog. You missed out on both of those coaches, man. And I think David Tepper finally come to the point now to where he's realizing, I got to take a setback. It only took us 3 years and 3 straight losing seasons for him to finally realize that. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a nigga with a Panther head on and a background green screen. Damn, I feel good today. We're going to wrap it up here in just a second, y'all. Shout out to God of Blackness. God is good. He says Deuce Staley and that coaching staff regime got ran out. Come on, bro. My nigga God be reaching, man. Shout out to you, God. How was your trip to New York? He says Deuce Staley and that coaching regime got ran out for the running backs to the ownership every 15 minutes and snitching on each other. Instead of figuring it out for themselves, I bet Deuce Staley ran to Ben and snitch. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. You're right, brother. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, hell yeah. I like a good old snitch. But listen, what you're wrong about, God of Blackness, you're a smart man. I like you, brother. You're very smart, but you're just a little bit. You remind me of my Jeep. You remind me of my Jeep. No, I'm playing. You remind me of my 87 Caprice. My 87 Caprice, when I used to crank it up sometime, it would misfire. The timing was off on it. The timing is slightly off. Yeah, you're right. Ben Johnson and Deuce Staley, Deuce Staley and the rest of the coaching staff, they did snitch on David Tepper, right? Far as them not figuring out themselves, sir, they're not magicians. They're not magicians. They're not magicians, bro. How can you tell somebody to figure it out when your hands are tied, bro? For whatever reason, in your mind, I'm assuming that you think that Frank Wright and Deuce Staley had an input in stuff. They were literally told what to do, how to do it. Y'all remember, this is how I know if you were a Panther fan. Y'all remember when there was a roster move? Remember somebody got moved back to the practice squad? Somebody help me out. What was that player, right? David Tepper moved the player back to the practice squad. Well, who was that? David Tepper, they didn't want a guy on the roster for game. Y'all remember when David Tepper said he will be making inputs on the game day roster? See, brother, this is why I say, bro, if you're gonna make these kind of comments, remember David Tepper saying he had to move a guy to the practice squad. If you're gonna make these comments, don't forget about that. And you talking about somebody being afraid to work it out. How are you gonna work it out when everything you do stepped on? Do y'all remember that? Y'all remember when David Tepper moved somebody back to the practice squad, talking about I will be in charge of the game day roster? Please, come on. I'm about to end the live. I'm about to end this live if y'all don't remember that. Y'all don't remember that? I'm in charge of the game day roster. Y'all remember that shit? And you have the nerve to sit here, brother. I like you, man, but you're just a little off, bro. You talking about they should have figured it out themselves. How, brother? They were handcuffed. They were handcuffed, dog. Them niggas was handcuffed. Them niggas came from matter of fact, I don't know if you remember over on Panthers Uncensored, when I was running Panthers Uncensored. Y'all remember when they said that David Tepper was in the kitchen? He was telling the chef what to cook. That nigga crazy, bro. They said David Tepper was in there telling the fucking kitchen what to cook for the players. Here go a chef. You got a chef and the dietitians and all kind of stuff. This nigga was in the locker room telling niggas, nah, you gonna cook beef Wellington today. and you had the nerve to open up that beautiful throat of yours and say that they should have figured things out themselves. Yeah. I like you, brother, but you're just a little off. And I don't mean that salaciously. I mean just, you have some good points, man. Just like, but you're not connecting the dots. Nigga like me, I connect them for you, dog. I like you. I said, no, that's not salacious. I'm being serious. Just a little off when it comes to connecting stuff. Call me the power man, nigga. I got you. I connect you. Shout out to my nigga in the chat. Who is this? Shout out to God of Blackness. He said, reach, big cat. Okay, my nigga. Okay. Shout out to Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. He said, Bryce should have never been a Panther. Yes, that's correct. Shout out to Logan Wood. He has an agenda. He just has an agenda. Yeah. Yeah. That's why we don't have a good coach in Carolina. Yeah. That's why we don't have a good coach in Carolina. He needed somebody soft and malleable. Dave Canales is soft. and I want to say something, but I don't know if what I'm about to say, is it going too far? Y'all let me know in the chat whether y'all want me to say it or not. It might be a little crazy, but it has some validity to what I'm about to make. I'm trying to make a point, but the point that I'm going to make is going to be a little harsh. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all want me to say it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, man. Make sure you guys subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the like button, share as well. Don't forget about fantasy football in the community section. Y'all let me know, should I say what I want to say? I want to say something about David Tepper and Dave Canales. But I'm afraid to, because this might be a little too much. Okay. Okay, shout out to the one. He says, say it. He said, say it. You want me to say it? Okay. There's a reason why David Tepper hired Canales. Who better to control who better to control somebody who doesn't have control over themselves? It's easy to control somebody who don't have control over themselves. Then Dave Canales had a sex addiction, an alcohol addiction. If anybody gonna listen to me, it's gonna be somebody I can blackmail. Allegedly, man. Who better to get somebody in here with lack of self-control? Somebody I know, if you defy me, I can set you up. I can have a couple hookers come to your hotel room, throw some booze by your door. I can ruin your whole relationship. Sounds far-fetched, don't it? Sounds wild, don't it? Sounds crazy, don't it? That sounds too hard to believe, huh? Let me bring somebody in here with sex addiction and alcohol addictions. Huh? Let me get a coach that I can bring in here with a sex additions and an alcohol dishes. So in case he step out of line, I got leverage. Sounds crazy. Sounds almost too true to be believable. Almost as if buying your old boss's house that fired you and mowing it down and build your mansion on top of it. Don't that sound like some fairy tale shit? Oh, that really happened? That did happen. What better to get somebody with an alcohol dishes and a lust dishes to where if you step out of line, I got you. Now, granted, Mike Vrabel was busting down motherfucking what's name? Mike Vrabel got too happy. I believe Mike Vrabel would have beat the shit out of David Tepper. David Tepper would try to, with Diana, what's her name? Diana Rossi. Mike Vrabel got happy. Niggas start winning games, start fucking reporters, man. Mike Vrabel turned Drake May from a Super Bowl, a 2,200-yard passing quarterback to a 30-yard touchdown quarterback and a Super Bowl champion in 2 years. He started fucking Diana Rossini. If David Tepper would have leaked that news, David Tepper would have got the shit beat out of him by Mike Vrabel. That's why David Tepper didn't want Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's a big dude, man. He's a big dude, man. Yeah. He probably told him, he said, you come in here, you don't listen to me, I'm going to blackmail you. All right. Good show today, man. Whew. Shout out to Big Rick. He says, is that a new word? Yeah, nigga, it's my word. Third Coast, what's up, boy? Any more questions, y'all? We've been good here. Going on almost 2 hours, man. 7:30, we will be back. I will drop the link at 7:30 if you want to come up and talk football, 7:30. I'll give you some more questions, y'all. I'll give you some more questions. Give me some more questions. I want to stick around for about 10 more minutes, man. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. Give me 10 more minutes, man. Any more questions here? Shout out to Denzel. Mike Vrabel still don't care. He back coaching. Yeah, I like Mike Vrabel. And that's the reason why. And if you want to know why a tough coach matters, look at the team. Look at our team. Did you hear T-Mac come out the other day? I don't know why we got off to the slow start. We were playing cute. Your star receiver went to the media and said, I don't know why we got off to a slow start. We were just being cute. And then on top of that, Dave Canales says that Bryce is a leader, but we're getting off to a slow start. And niggas talking about we being cute. And you wonder why Bryce must go. This team is soft. The coaching staff is soft. Could you imagine John Harbaugh? Could you imagine Mike Vrabel in here, dog? Mike Vrabel and John Harbaugh, niggas be running niggas till their tongue fall out. This coaching, I mean, when your head is soft, dog, your body's gonna be soft too. When your head of your organization is soft, then your body of your organization is soft. And you wonder why, nigga has yet to go 3 years in and still has yet to throw for what? He only threw for what? 200 yards more than his career high? Nigga soft, bro. But you'll say I'm hating, though. Any head coaches that we should be looked out for next year? That's too far early, brother. It's too far early. It's too early, brother. Shout out to DP, man. What's the earliest Bryce Young could get bitch? Stay right there. Let me put that on the screen. Good question there. I'm going to give you guys 10 more minutes, man. I'm enjoying myself. Shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy, I'm going to drop the link tonight at 7:30. Come back, okay? I want you to come back at 7:30. We're going to talk. Shout out to my man in the chat. He said, what's the earliest Bryce Young could get benched? Let's take a peek. All right. Let's take a peek here. Let's take a peek. All right, let's say Chicago 0-1. Atlanta. I hate to say we lose to Atlanta, especially with them missing James Pierce and Jalen Walker. I had us initially losing to Atlanta, but I think that's 1-1. I think Cleveland will beat us. I said we struggle with tight ends. You see what happened in training camp yesterday? We gave up 5 touchdowns. 3 of those touchdowns were to tight ends. Okay? They got a very, very good tight end up in Cleveland. Not only do they got a very good tight end up in Cleveland, they got a hell of a running back. The Panthers will get destroyed by Harold Fanning Jr. come week 3. So I got us starting off 1-2. I got us losing to Detroit. That's 1-3. So we beat Atlanta. We lose to Chicago. We lose to Cleveland. We lose to Detroit. Okay? All right? Everybody understand? That's 1-3. Philadelphia, that's 1-4. I think we beat Tampa Bay, right? We beat Tampa Bay. What's that? That's 2-4. We're 2-4. We lose to Green Bay. That's 2-5. We lose to Denver. That's 2-6. Okay? We beat New Orleans, or we lose to New Orleans. That's 2-7. Okay? We're 2-7 once we lose to New Orleans. Then November 22nd, we're 2-8. Okay? We lose to Baltimore. When we get off to a 2-8 start, I think you'll see Haynes King. I think they'll give him one more game. So we'll start off with 2-8, going into the Monday Night Football, right? You got Monday Night Football against Tampa Bay, and we will lose Tampa Bay. Okay, we beat Tampa Bay early, but we lose to them late. That's 2-9. Okay. Week 13 is when you'll see Haynes King. You'll see Haynes King week 13. So let me do that again. We lose Chicago. We lose to Cleveland. We lose to Detroit. That's 1-3. We lose to Philly. That's 1-4. We beat Tampa. That's 2-4. We lose to Green Bay. That's 2-5. We lose to Denver. That's 2-6. We lose to New Orleans. That's 2-7. We lose to Baltimore. That's 2-8. We lose to Tampa. That's 2-9. So going into week 13 against Minnesota, you'll see Haynes King. You'll see Haynes King week 13. Okay? That's when you'll see Bryce's last game against Monday Night Football. They're going to pull him against Tampa. Tampa Bay Monday Night Football will be Bryce's last game in the Panthers uniform. Haynes King will start the rest of the season. Okay? Anybody ready to cry on my cock about it? Which one of you niggas ready to cry on my cock about it? I ain't got much down there, but shit, whatever I got is yours. Yeah, dog, but to answer your question, 2-9 is when Bryce will get slapped. You know what I mean? Oh my God. I love my tea. Shout out to Denzel. He said, "You copy my work, Big Cat. You copy my work." Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me? Oh, shit. Hold on. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Shout out to DT Pan. He said, we getting the first overall pick with that record? Could be. Could be. Give me 1 second. Okay, good. Shout out to Jeremy. He says, I actually think the Panthers are going to do something this year. Let's go ahead and block Jeremy. No, I'm playing. Don't block him. Don't block him. This nigga talking about we actually going to do something this year. In case you don't know, Jeremy is a known alcoholic. Don't listen to nothing he said. Alcoholic man telling us we're going to win this year. To my nigga 50 grand, the alcoholic man who drink a tall can in his bloodstream if he can. Biggie Small, the pussy stroker, MC provoker, chocolate tire smoker. What? I like the maxin', raxin', laxin'. Your girl's butt cheeks on smacking, huh? Yeah, shout out to Biggie Small. Yeah, don't listen to that nigga. That nigga alcoholic. Shout out to Big Rick, loud and clear. Run the fantasy info. You got two guys. Oh, okay, give me a second. All right, if you guys want part of Fantasy Football League, we have a lot of spots available. We're trying to sew them up this year. Give me 1 second here. All right. Again, y'all, Fantasy Football League years. I have been doing this for the last 4 years. I paid out over $4 grand over the past couple of years. League number 1, we have 4 spots available. League number 2, 6 spots available. League number 3, we got 6 spots available. League number 4, 4 spots available. League 5, I have 6 spots available. League 6, I have 5 spots available. Again, I do not have any commissioner fees baked in, okay? I know sometimes people run Fantasy Football League and they like to bake in commissioner fees. Everything you put in is what you get out, okay? No commissioner fee. I do participate in all my leagues, okay? It is ESPN PPR League. ESPN PPR, okay? Those are the way to contact me right there. When you contact me, make sure you put in the email or put in the PayPal or the Venmo or the Cash App. Make sure you put in what league you want, okay? Let me know what league you want so I don't be confused. Okay, let's get this filled by September 4th. I want to start drafting this weekend, man, but we don't have any field. Let's get this. I want to start drafting this weekend, brother. Let's get these filled. I know you guys like fantasy football, and the payout happens right around Christmas time, right? So it's a beautiful thing. You know, you got to spend a lot of money on your kids and your loved ones. If you win your fantasy football league, you got something to look forward to, okay? So let's get these filled. If they're not filled by September 4th, the people who already joined, I will refund you and give your money back. I'm not going to beg anybody, okay? So let's get them filled. Let's get them going. There you go, okay? Okay. Any questions, any comments, any concerns for me? To my nigga 50 grand, alcoholic man. Shout out to, what else? You say, let me go to, what happened? Jeremy said, I haven't been wrong all year. Okay. Jeremy said, I haven't drunk in 2 months. Joke is on you. I think the joke is on you for believing that. Jay Wick, what's up, man? All right, man. That's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, thank you, man. This has been 1995 The Roar, a channel for the fans, by a fan, restoring The Roar. If you haven't already, man, consider purchasing a membership for $1.99. You can have those cool little labels next to your name, and they will change over time. And you get early access to my videos when I go live throughout the year. Okay? Subscribe, man. We growing, man. I'm just a brother with a mic doing my thing. I love what I do. I love entertaining you guys. And I love talking football. Don't take anything I say on this mic personal. I have had people say they're gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill you, nigga. I'm gonna kill you. No, don't be one of those goofballs, okay? I'm just really having a good time on this mic, all right? Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys at 7:30. Come back at 7:30. I'm gonna drop the link. Don't forget about the sponsors in the comment section and also in the description. Click on those links, man. Make you some purchases, all right? Until next time, paws up, keep pounding.
Yo, Panthers fans, you need to check out theincrediblefanatics.com. They have the absolute best selection of gear. Get ready for game day and rep your team right. Click my link below to get yours today. Panthers fans, don't miss any games. Fubo offers over 300 live channels, including sports, news, and entertainment. Get cloud DVR and top leagues for a free trial. Use my link below.